We're back again. Okay, here's the progress I got, and I've been working on the leg pieces, thigh pieces. This is the hip and thigh piece, and as you can see here, I have the buckles in place. And it's a little hard to see what's going on with them on this curve piece. I was kind of using this as a test fit, and at the same time building it to fit. But as you can see here, I did put Velcro straps into place here, and they're not very long. They're only a few inches long, maybe 4 or 5 inches from the end of the end of these buckles. So let me show you what's going on with them though on the flat piece. So what I did was the Velcro got run along the bottom of the buckle piece. Here's the front of it, and then what I did was just a blob of Gorilla Glue, a line of Gorilla Glue under the Velcro to attach it to the back of the foam, piece of Gorilla Tape to clamp and hold it in place, give it a little extra protection. Then there's about an inch of the Velcro protruding onto the back of the foam here, and then again more Gorilla Glue to hold that down, some tape to clamp, and then more Gorilla Glue under the buckle piece itself, along with more tape to clamp it down. So that's how that's looking. Now this raised piece of black foam here, this is the gasket part from the center of the leg and thigh piece. So what I did was, well, here again, I'll show you on this. What I did was I cut 2 inches out right here, and the whole length along, and then I cut a 4-inch wide piece of the 5mm craft foam, glued that into place, or excuse me, well, first I marked on the back of these other pieces here exactly where this foam needed to go. Glued this into place, weighted it down with some books, and just let it sit and cure overnight. The long cure time lets the glue get set up really, really well. And then I took some freehanded, some thick pieces, some long strips of the 5mm foam, hot glued them down on the ends, and maybe a little bit in the middle, you can see right there. But that's about it. I wanted that rubber gasket look. Now what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up putting the polyacrylic urethane on there to give it a coat, so when I spray paint it, it'll give me a nice base. But then after I finish spray painting it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit it with the gloss black, or excuse me, the flat black, and that way it'll give it more of a rubber look. I probably could have gone to the hardware store, got some rubber sheets, or maybe even some real rubber gaskets and put them in there, but I don't know if I would have been able to make this work. Now, the pieces that go in the holes right here, just took them out and spray painted them with the satin black, and they look pretty good. Took the shine off. There you go. There's the other side, so you can see what's going on. So they're going to look really, really good, especially, and again, they're going to do a great job for holding things in place. So, tricky engineering on this. As far as getting this curved, easiest thing to do is work in small bits, get the foam fairly hot, and then curve it some more, curve it a little more, curve it a little more, and then what I did was I rolled it in on itself really, really tightly, and I used the Velcro. I just wrapped the Velcro around it a few times. I let it sit overnight, and again, that helped just bend it into shape. Right now, probably going to need to do a little bit more bending at the top, but I gotta wait and see how that's going to work out, because I got to get this one bent so everything's going to go into place. Now, what will happen is these pieces right here are going to have nylon strap run through them. The nylon strap is going to run all the way around my waist, of course at the hip level. Plug it into this like that, and then the straps are going to come around, go through the codpiece and the little belt pouch at the front, go around the back, go under the back piece, come back around. Hopefully, that's the plan. Hopefully it'll work. So, next thing I have, this is the shin guard. And the shin guards actually worked out pretty well. there you go. Here's the other one right here. And again, this is the thick 5mm craft foam I'm putting on there as a detail. This is the 2mm craft foam. Then all these are just hot glued into place, and the hot glue worked really, really well for this because it doesn't squeeze out. Although again, you will get better adhesion with the Gorilla Glue. So up to you. Now on the back here, what I did was I cut slits in the edges, and I ran Velcro in there, and the Velcro, of course, came up. There you go, a little hard to see, but the Velcro came up and through, and I glued that inside here, put some Gorilla Tape on top of it, got four squares of Gorilla Tape, 4 pieces of Velcro. You don't need a lot of Velcro for this. Some of this is going to end up getting trimmed off, but that's going to be the back. That's what's going to attach it to the back of the leg, lower part of the leg. Now, the next piece is the calf piece. And here is the template for the calf piece. And this is a half template for the calf piece. And what I did to get this curve right here, I laid one of the shin guards on the floor, or excuse me, on the graph paper. Started a pencil right here, just worked it right along this curve, and as I worked around the curve, I just rolled this until it came in here. Now this part right here, now let me show you how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to sit on there like that, okay, and then it's going to curve around your thigh like this, or excuse me, your calf like this. So this part right here is going to be where it attaches to the top of the little shin guard. And then as you go down this curve, it's going to attach to this part of the shin guard, and then it needs to swing out and around to give it actually enough space to go around your calf, because your calf is going to be fairly big. Now here's the piece I cut, and I'm still working with it, although you can see I've bent it, and these do match up fairly well as long as you take them one side at a time. There you go. All right. Now the plan, I think, at this point, is to cut Velcro, or excuse me, is to attach Velcro roughly, I'd say here, 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 and here on the inside of the shin guard. Attach that to corresponding areas on the inside of the calf guard, and just Velcro the calf guard in place. Now, of course, the outside of the calf guard, the texture side, is going to show. So I'm going to end up getting something that's going to look like this back over the calf. And this part right here is just going to be the lower part of my the back of my leg, and that will show through. Again, I'll be wearing tights under that, so hopefully no big deal. Hopefully nobody will notice. I'm sure somebody will. Anyway, when I said this was a half template, and as you can see here, what I did was there's a Sharpie mark going down the center. So what you're going to need to do is mark the center of your template straight down, and then you the center of your foam straight down. Line up the center of the template, this edge of the template, with that mark. Draw your curve or cut it out using the template, however you want to do it. Then you flip this over so the straight edge of the template is still going down that mark. That's going to give you that little raised bit right there. So if I had to do this again, and again, I might, this curve right here would actually drop down a little bit more so I don't get this little raised hump. Now the thing is, you do need this curve right here, because if you don't have it, the back of your thigh is going to hit this spot, and you're not going to be able to bend your legs more than about 20 degrees or so, and that's going to get uncomfortable if you want to sit after a long day. So so that's what that's looking like. Now as far as finishing goes, I need to put some polyurethane on these pieces, because as you can see, again, it's the smooth parts that's showing, but then I'm going to end up spray painting them, so they're going to look really good. And spray paint the edges as well. I'm going to mask off the insides here, because again, the Gorilla Glue does not like sticking to the painted pieces as well as it does to the unpainted, especially if you're working on this textured side. The knee pieces, they're going to get polyacrylic as well. I still have to polish the edge of this and seal the edges of it. But again, this is, since the pattern here is going to show, paint's going to go directly on it. I believe that's it. I'm in the final stages right now. I got to get these leg pieces done. I've got to get some detailing done. One of the details I have to do that I just forgot to mention was the raised pieces of smooth area on the hip and thigh piece. This area right here on the big template, I know it's hard to see, but there's the pencil lines. This big area right here is going to have I'm going to cut this out of the 5mm craft foam, and then I'm just going to, excuse me, I'll cut this area out of the template, lay the template on the 5mm craft foam, cut that out of the 5mm craft foam, and then glue that onto the leg pieces. I'm probably going to wait until after I've curved the leg pieces and they're right in the shape that I want them to be. That way, I'm not going to worry about stretching that out. So I've got the finish in sight. I need to get to it. I don't want to sprint because I don't want to make any stupid mistakes that's going to cause me to wreck anything. But at this point, the finish is in sight, and I don't want to promise that the next time you see me that there's going to be a full test fit. But let's hope so. So with that, thank you very much. I do appreciate everybody out there who's following along, and I'll see you next time. Bye.